sports.
We are Blackmore. We are St. Louis.
Day in downtown St. Louis. A look at the Arches. We get you set for baseball tonight. Game 2 between the White Sox and the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a look inside the Champions Club. Our annual broadcast inside the UNB Champions Club, where it's sold out on this Wednesday night. Fredbird is here. Team Fredbird is here. That's Al Robowski. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Cardinals baseball. We'll hear from Jim Hayes, Jay Randolph, and many others throughout the evening. Al, one of the great parts about coming to the Champions Club, you don't necessarily get Team Fredbird to greet you every time, but you will have the World Series trophies and a great atmosphere.
No doubt about it. There's 4 World Championship trophies here on display, including the very first one ever awarded in baseball, and that's the 67 trophy. So whenever you come to the Champions Club, you're guaranteed to have a lot of fun and a lot of enjoyment and a Cardinal victory.
And let's talk a little bit about what happens on the field. What about the Cardinals trying to get back on track here tonight?
Well, they're at the 500 mark. It's really been a little bit of a struggle. It's been a collapse of everybody. Starting pitching, bullpen, made a lot of errors, and the offense is kind of taking a little time off. But we know every aspect of Cardinal baseball is very capable of excelling, and it's about time to start doing so.
Yeah, whatever you said. I agree. It's loud in here. It's the Champions Club. We're going to have some fun. A look at Jake Peavy and Lance Lynn on Fox Sports Midwest when we come back. Right-handers here tonight. Jake Peavy, we saw him win the Cy Young while with San Diego, but with the White Sox, his problem has been staying healthy. When he has been healthy, he's been very good, looking for win number 7 here tonight. Meanwhile, on the other side, this guy is healthy. He's pitching wonderfully well for Mike Matheny's club, and that's Lance Lynn. Last time out, he defeated the Astros to pick up win number 9, and who knows, Lance Lynn could be an all-star this season. We thought he would start the year beginning in the bullpen. Instead, he's the top man of this rotation, arguably right now. We've got baseball coming up, and watch out, you never know what may wind up in the stands. We'll tell you what we mean when we come back. At the Champions Club, you have to be careful. Watch out for those foul balls. We're close to the action. Speaking of that, here's another edition of Up for Grabs.
That's way out of here and way foul right off the first row in the upper deck. Nice catch, buddy. Good fielding crowd, evidently.
He's waiting for it. He's got a good work ethic. He's ready. Lead the league in love. And a happy fan's able to hold it up. He's all right. Popped up, and that'll be a souvenir.
Sure what that is. Are you okay? But you need an extra. I'm not sure. That's unusual.
There I was. And then I looked up, and there was the ball. One-handed, nicely done. Leverage intact.
Naturally go to the ball.
Headed to the water, and into the water.
I didn't want to. And what a flock of seagulls is going on here.
Check this out, folks. Right here, coming at me. Thank you very much, everybody.
Sports Midwest. Chance for fans to get their picture taken with the World Series trophy. There's 4 of them here. Lance Lynn gets the start tonight. Lynn and Peavy, White Sox Cardinals, comes your way next. By Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By your Mid-America Chevy dealers, the #1 selling brand in St. Louis. Find us at stlchevy.com. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. And by Steak and Shake, just no equal. Live look inside the Champions Club as we are always glad to do this, Mr. Hrabosky. Always fun for us, and this is the suite level here at the ballpark. So we're in the outside portion of the Champions Club, obviously, and it's one of the better seats in the house.
No doubt about it, especially early in the season when it's cold, late in the season, or in the middle of summer, because you have seats outside, but you also have all the convenience of inside, the air conditioning, a great buffet. It was delicious tonight, and a couple fully stocked bars. It's all the more than 40 flat screen TVs, and the great new attraction, all 4 of the World Series championship trophies, including the very first one ever issued, are given to a ball club in 1967.
Take a look at the White Sox lineup tonight. Diaza, Beckham, and Viciato. Adam Dunn was a late scratch. Canerco, Rios, Pierzynski, Ramirez, Hudson, and the pitcher Jake Peavy. 0 for 3 so far this year.
Good pitching matchup as the Cardinals will counter with Lance Lynn as he is trying to win his major league leading 9th game. He has a very good batting average against. He's been outstanding. Good ERA at 2.66, a strikeout per inning. And boy, his last time out, he struck out 11 in his victory.
That was 103 pitches against Houston his last time out. Holiday, Robinson, and Beltran in the outfield. Freeze for Kyle Descalso and Craig along the infield. Behind the plate, Yadier Molina. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs. Robin Ventura and Mike Matheny. And we saw a tight ball game last night, Al. The fact that, you had a game that was in the 8th inning. Could have been a 1-0 lead for St. Louis at that time.
Well, it probably should have been. Adam Wainwright pitched very effectively. A couple balls not made, allowed 2 runs. But when he came out in the 8th inning, it was a 2-1 ball game. Then things got away with the power and the home runs of 4 runs in the 8th inning for the White Sox.
White Sox have been one of the hottest teams in baseball, 34-27. And the first pitch by Lance Lynn is a strike. Diaz saw him double last night. It's from the left side, batting .305 this year. 4 home runs, and he's driven in 27. Strike 2.
Most important, we always talk about what's the best pitch in baseball. Well, it's a fastball if you're talking about the repertoire, but really it's a first pitch strike. And then if you can come and double it up with 0-2, then that hitter becomes very defensive.
Time is called, and Chris Guccione,
someone in the
home plate
bullpen
umpire, and now Holiday wants to talk with the umpire that's at second base tonight, and that's Jeff Nelson. The crew chief is Tim Cheetah. I'm not sure if Holiday saw something in the Cardinals bullpen or not. He keeps looking over there.
There's Mr. Cheetah.
One ball and 2 strikes. Mike Matheny, Al was talking after the game last night. This team is frustrated, and he mentioned how in the 8th inning a guy like Dunn can get at a lefty like Zipchinski because it's a hitter's count. And he's talked about time and again trying to be aggressive early in counts inside the zone.
Right, and it was just a career worst year last year for Adam Dunn, away 11 home runs, none against the left-hander. Now he's second in the major leagues with 21 home runs, and 5 of them off a left-hander. He hit one off of Zipchinski.
2-2 is a fly ball, and Holiday a couple of steps in to make the catch. And again, the point that Mike has been trying to pound home is let's get ahead in counts. Let's try to pound the strike zone with fastballs.
And a lot of it has to do with pitching to contact. Not be afraid to let them put the ball in play. If you do that, you'll keep your pitch count down. You'll stay in a game longer.
1 out, nobody on. Gordon Beckham, check swing, and strike 1.
Even though it was a pitch that should have been a ball, you get the bonus of it fouling off, and you're ahead in that count again. And a batter feels like he got cheated, just giving you strike 1.
Beckham, the on-base percentage only at .286. Got off to a very slow start. Some concerns about his offense. They love him defensively at second base. He was a part of 2 double plays last night. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Over 40 flat screen TVs at the Champions Club.
See a couple of them watching this game and some of the others around baseball.
2-2. They say that this place is probably the most popular place at the ballpark, especially on Sunday afternoons in September. You get the football games.
Well, how about Sunday afternoons in July?
That would help too. Just about any day in July. The hot weather, and you can cool off inside. They'll show all the various ball games throughout the league tonight.
They have an assigned seat outside, but if you need to get a little relief, you can come inside here and get a little AC.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Get out of play. You saw Ozzie Guillen on one of those flat screens. He's the former manager of the White Sox, led them to the World Championship in 2005. And Ozzie Guillen no longer with Chicago. He is in Miami as they released him from his contract. And in Robin Ventura, you get a guy that is, for the most part, mild-mannered. Still very, very aggressive at times, but that aggression is not going to be voiced through the papers or through the media. Behind closed doors, which is completely different than what we saw from Ozzie Guillen.
And you probably could, like Mike Matheny, you get a little more even-tempered after the games. And
I would have to say that management welcomed that aspect of Mike Matheny. Tony TV could be entertaining, but sometimes a little uncomfortable too. 2-2 pitch. Got him. Strikeout of Gordon Beckham. First strikeout for Lance Lynn.
Set up away. That might help sell this pitch. As 94 miles an hour, pretty much on the black. And maybe a bit generous.
This is Viciado. Again, Adam Dunn, a late scratch in this lineup. A strike at the knees. Viciado, we saw him pinch hit last night. Went hitless.
That's just a big man and just pretty efficient with that delivery and follow through.
Cardinals receiving some terrific news today. Remember, Lance Lynn is put in this rotation because of the injury to Chris Carpenter, who threw off a mound today. 26 pitches. Here's a grounder to David Freese. Takes his time, throws a strike to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Lance Lynn. Cardinals coming up in the home half. Champions Club tonight, little turkey. Also have the normal ballpark food, the nachos, the hot dogs, the brats, ice cream. A look at the Cardinals lineup presented by Southwest Airlines for Cal, Beltran, and Holiday. Craig will bat cleanup. Freeze Molina drops down from the second spot to the sixth spot in the lineup. Descalso, Robinson, and the pitcher, Lance Lynn, batting 111. Cardinals get a tough one tonight. Jake Peavy.
Well, when he was with San Diego, he was just awesome. 07, he was unanimous choice in the National League for the Cy Young. Big strikeout year, 240 strikeouts. Since going to Chicago, he's had some physical problems, but he's overcome them. And now he's 6-1 and pitching very, very well once again. Not quite as hard, but still 92, 93. He's always had a great slider.
Talked about it a lot recently. As for Cal goes, so goes the offense. And Rafi, for the first time in a long time, is hitting below that 300 mark. He's at 299.
Oh, for his last 15, and that gives you a little indication what we're talking about. But he'll get hot again.
Two balls and one strike. Kyle has hit 5 home runs. He's driven in 29. Pops it up. Brzezinski throws the mask and makes the catch. Defense behind Jake Peavy tonight as we go around the horn. Viciado, Diaza, Rios in the outfield. Hudson, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko along the infield. Brzezinski, a free agent to be, is behind the plate. We saw him homer last night. And Around the Horn is brought to you by Dobbs.
Last night he was using almost a lime green. Looks like it's more pink tonight. And nail polish on his fingers, and that's just to help the pitcher see. When he puts it down there, you try to disguise it as much as you can, but it helps when your pitcher knows what you call it. Fastball.
The 1-0-2 Beltran right down the middle. Carlos featured article on FoxSportsMidwest.com saying that he would like to participate and will in the home run derby if asked.
Leads the National League in home runs. So why not?
Going back to Kansas City too.
But I guess that is what Matt Kemp is the National League captain.
Correct.
So he is the captain of the home run derby.
Beltran, little swinging bunt here. Peavy, no play. Base hit for Carlos Beltran. Good to see the fact that Carlos Al is back in the lineup tonight after we thought was a scary situation in the play at the wall defensively early on last night.
Yeah, and then here this little swinging bunt. Peavy, just a tremendous competitor. And he slides forward. He really didn't look it into his bare hand and in the acrobatic act, but at that time Beltran already crossed the bag. Remember Peavy in 05 playoffs. He was pitching at the old ballpark and he was not physically sound. I think he had a groin injury and really got beat up in that game, but no indication of how good he really is when healthy.
Saw Holiday return to the lineup last night, dealing with back spasms, and he produced at the plate.
3-game hitting streak, batting .455, and really if you take away April, his numbers have been good.
Lines it out to right center, and the catch is made by Rios. From this perspective that we have, Allen, 99 out of 100 times we are pretty much right behind home plate, but now we're located down the left field line. It gives you an idea just how quickly that ball gets on those outfielders.
No doubt about it. And sometimes we'll see some of the patterns that just from a different angle you can appreciate the skill level of these tremendous athletes.
The speed
of the game. We're sitting up there in the left field corner.
Sweet level here at the ballpark, and here's Alan Craig.
Again, I often say is when we're sitting in our normal perch, the game looks so simple and almost feels like a chess game. You pick up people, move them around, but you really, I think you do lose the perspective as how fast everything really is.
No doubt. Jay Randolph, you see him pictured with us earlier tonight, and he'll join us in the third inning, as well as Jim Hayes. Ground out off the bat of Alan Craig, and a scoreless first inning here on Fox Sports Midwest. Cub games. Those weekend dates here at the ballpark, and you receive a free hot dog and Coke. Visit Cardinals.com/values. The next one is this weekend against Kansas City. We're at Busch Stadium on a gorgeous night. Glad you're with us. Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin. There's Chris Carpenter saying before the game, Al, that in throwing off the mound, it wasn't quite like a side session, but it would be, in his terms, a normal session right before he heads to spring training. And very confident that he will pitch this year. Boy, do the Cardinals need him at some point. Let's hope that they're at least around 500, if not better, and in contention, because that could change the dynamic of this club.
And like you say, just because he gets on the mound, don't get too anxious, and because, as you said, he's preparing to go to spring training. Spring training is 6 weeks not because of hitters, but because of pitchers. So they'll still take that on a slow progress. It is a good plus.
Very much so. And here's Konerko. Average has jumped up to 373. Leads the league in hitting. Freeze to his left. One away. Steven Strasburg with a win this afternoon for the Washington Nationals, as we get a look at our Toyota keys to the game. The highest winning percentage in the National League this year. And during the break, we were talking about all-stars, and I think you'd have to look at Dickey and Strasburg at this point. Loesch will be in that conversation possibly. Lilly has been up and down as far as being hurt, but the other guy is on the mound right now, and that's Lance Lynn.
Well, Lance Lynn and Dickey are both going for their 10th win tonight. And the last time the Cardinals had a pitcher become the National League's first to reach 10 wins in a given year was Harvey Haddix back in 1954 with a win over Pittsburgh.
2-0 on Alex Rios. It was a waiver claim by the White Sox. They thought there was no chance they would get him. Was owed a ton of money, and wasn't brought back, and they had to live with that contract. Now, when healthy and when right, very productive player. But last year, in trying to prove that he could hit for power, became very pull conscious, and in doing so, a lot of ground balls to short. Pitchers were adjusting to him by throwing outside like this and getting the ground ball. Thank you, right on cue for Cowell. Look inside the Champions Club tonight. 2 full service bars, 2.5 hour all-you-can-eat buffet, nearly 40 flat screens, indoor and outdoor seating. A.J. Pierzynski will dig in. Hit his 11th home run last night. He's now driven in 40, and I mentioned earlier, Al, he's a free agent to be. He's a real key to what they want to do this season. He's got to stay healthy. I feel when he's in the lineup, the team takes on a different look in many ways, because he can be a vocal leader, gets under the skin of the opposition, and he produces.
Really has been producing, especially with men in scoring position. But he's hit 354, 5 doubles, triples, 6 home runs, 19 RBIs in his last 21 games.
One ball and 2 strikes.
On pace for 29 home runs and 106 RBIs. So Lance Lynn will have to be very respectful.
AJ did the unthinkable. He said he might even sign with the Chicago Cubs if it came down to it. Beltran makes the catch in right. 6 up and 6 down to start the night for Lance Lynn. A place where youth can reach their potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. If you'd like to learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. The Champions Club here at the ballpark. Happy 50th birthday to Amy Blaisdell. Amy works over at Greensfelder, just across the way here. Amy Blaisdell, happy birthday, and here's David Freese. Freese with a base hit into right. Second Cardinal hit. Follow Fox Sports Midwest coverage of the Cardinals. It's MLB.com @Bat12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, Windows Mobile. You'll get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @Bat to 31826 or visit Cardinals.com for details. What do you think, Al? A little hit and run maybe to try to get this offense going? This would be the perfect guy to do it.
He's very capable. He'd be a good RBI man. Sometimes when a team is struggling, you do try to do different things.
Ground ball hit to the left side. Yep, it's almost a double play as Freese went in hard, breaks it up, clean baseball, and Molina winds up at second base. Remember, the Cardinals hit into 3 double plays last night.
Well, we talked about Beckham being such a fine defensive player, and David really tried to go out there, but Beckham had more than enough time that he shouldn't have been a bother to him. So that was just flat out a bad throw by the young second baseman. It was last night a double play that was not made by the Cardinals led to 2 runs that did end Adam Wainwright.
Only 8 errors last year for Gordon Beckham, playing just about every game. Here's Descalso with a runner at second base. Remember a few years ago we had a shot inside the dugout of the San Diego Padres, and Greg Maddux, David Wells, Jake Peavy all sitting together, and we were told that they did that all the time. Those 3 always sitting together talking baseball, and Peavy mentioned how instrumental those 2, Wells and Maddux, have been in his career on the mental side and how to prepare.
Remember, if I'm not mistaken, they had a baseball and they were just changing grips, talking about different grips, trying to get the ball to do something a little different, a little more movement. Jake Peavy has always been very, very tough on right-handed batters, so Cardinals are putting as many lefties as they can.
Popped up. Third baseman wants it. Orlando Hudson. He's got it. Here's Shane Robinson. If you have a question for us, go to carsoup.com/Cardinals. Send us your email the booth questions. Claudia Thomas and Don Thomas are here tonight. The Best Buy Suite, the ballpark right by us. Family is with them. There's 6 grandkids cheering on the Cardinals. Robinson in the 8th spot in the lineup, and he's hitting .273. 2 home runs. He's driven in 9, and a ground ball. Nice play by Hudson. Long throw, and he got him. It's a 4-time Gold Glover at second base, and he's now at third. Jay Randolph with Al when we come back.
along with the Mad Hungarian, and this is fun. Gee, thanks for inviting me by for a few minutes tonight.
Absolutely. You know, we had a lot of fun because when I was playing, you were doing the broadcast.
Yes, I was. Indeed.
Do you remember the one time in Pittsburgh, Buddy Solomon took the padding off the back of the stands down in the bullpen, and it was high jumping in the bullpen, and you guys showed it, and Bing Devine just went berserk.
Well, Bing often would do that, of course, but we had some wonderful fellows on those teams. I think that's the thing I've always enjoyed about broadcasting baseball. You have the opportunity to really get to know the guys. It's not like football where you play once a week, you know. And I've really always enjoyed that. It's been terrific. And
I know you want to share a little information on Robin Ventura.
Well, I do. I want to talk a little bit about Ventura because this is Alexi Ramirez, of course, at the plate right now as we get underway here in the third inning. But Robin Ventura, as you well know, Al, was a terrific player at Oklahoma State. This is foul down the right side, and it's going to be out of play. But he was on our Olympic team in 1988. And your friend and mine, Kitty Cat, Jim Cott, worked with me on color, and the opportunity to do the gold medal game in Seoul, Korea. And the United States beat Japan 5-2. And Robin was on that team, and he was one of the leaders on that team. I mean, he was a tremendous player. I think he won the Golden Spike Award. And, you know, it was just wonderful to have the opportunity to visit with him and be around him. And what a very special time that was.
And as you said, he was always a leader, very even-tempered. And so when they were looking to replace Ozzie Guillen, he was even surprised when he got the nod.
Well, it looks like he's well on his way to getting things started in fine fashion. No question about that. Down he goes. Lynn looking very, very sharp here in the early going. And, of course, same is true on the other side. Offensively and defensively, right now, the defense and the pitching has the show, but we've got a long way to go.
Well, one of the things I really like about Lance Lynn is nothing really phases him. But here's a guy with a good fastball and is not afraid to use it. Everybody says major leaguers can hit fastballs. So sometimes we get breaking ball happy. But the fastball is still the best pitch in the game.
Here's a fellow who had himself a night last night, Orlando Hudson. I was surprised that he got that triple, and it really hurt at the time he got it. Was he batting about 165 or 70, something like that?
Yeah, he had hit his first home run for the White Sox on Sunday, and about the time I was talking about that, he hit the one off the right field wall that produced the 2 runs. And unfortunately, you know, Wainwright was victimized by the lack of turning the double play earlier that inning. But Adam was very good yesterday and probably should have had 7 shutout innings.
1 ball and 2 strikes. That just missed inside. You know, we're talking about that Olympic team and the gold medal they won. Andy Bennis was on that team. And Jim Abbott, the one-handed pitcher, remember him?
Right,
what a dramatic situation it was for him. He got the victory, if I remember correctly. There's a strikeout.
Jim Abbott, what a great inspiring story. Born without right hand. He was a left-handed pitcher. You know, they said as we go back to the strikeout pitch, freezes Hudson right there on the black. And they said the only thing they could figure out that he could not do on a baseball diamond was participate in a rundown play.
And we are broadcasting, of course, from the Champions Club. And you look at the wall there with all of the memorabilia. What a wonderful place to watch the game. You've got food whenever you want it. The bar is open. And we've got seats outside. And I know you guys like that bar is open. But truly, this is a fabulous facility. I was talking to some friends of mine who are here. And a couple of Cub fans, they said, well, we don't have anything like this in Chicago.
especially because it has world championship trophies.
Yes, indeed. Well, of course, the White Sox have fared better over the years than the Cubbies have, and I think this is a pretty nice team they put together here from every standpoint, Hungo, really.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is they were projected to be a 5th place finisher in the American League Central, and now they find themselves a game and a half in first place.
Here's Peavy at the plate, and a swing and a miss, and down he goes. We play 2.5. No score here at Busch Stadium. Bosky and yours truly, Jay Randolph, sitting out here in left field enjoying an absolutely gorgeous evening at the ballpark. Here we are, and the weather has been superb. Been a lot better in the way the Cardinals have been playing, Al, but hopefully that's going to change.
You'd like to think so, because this is a very good ball club, and you get a 9-2 start from a guy that's just replacing Carpenter. Lance Lynn has been a shot in the arm, but
terrific shot in the arm. The big guy has really settled in. Nothing particularly bothers him. He knows what his job is, and he gets out there and works on it.
Jay, it's funny because, you know, he just came to the big league scene last year, and he had that long period with the oblique muscle strain, and then came off the disabled list, pitched very well in postseason play. But you just have great confidence in him. Just really felt like, okay, he would hold his own. You never expected to be, you know, at the top of the National League leaderboard in wins, but.
Oh, nice little curveball there, and he just looked at it. Peavy is a guy that can pile up the strikeouts. On 2 occasions when he was with the Padres, he struck out 10 Cardinals in games, and he's always had good stuff.
In his Cy Young Award, he had 240 to lead the league.
That's right.
And he just a couple times he's been over 200, but tremendous slider that really is an effective pitch against the right-handed batters, but great competitor.
Well, let's see if we can't get Fergal going here. Got off to such a great start, but he has really been to the point now where, as you can see, he's dropped down to 298, and he is he's struggling. This is skied out into the outfield, and it is the right fielder coming over to make the play.
Rios.
That's Rios, Alex Rios. This is a team that's got pretty good speed, doesn't it? From the way I've just watched them on the one game and then watched them warming up today, but they've got nice speed on this club.
Yeah, they've got some players that can steal bases, but they've really helped them with the speed defensively.
Beltran fouls it away.
Jay, you're right about Furcal. He's over his last 17 now, and unfortunately, remember, he got a couple home runs on the last road trip. Then you get into a mode thinking you can hit home runs. He's hitting too many balls in the air.
Beltran lets it go. Way back. It's gone.
Home run to lead the National League. Beltran's been in quite a little roll of late. Hit a couple over the weekend. His 47th RBI. And maybe that's what the Cardinals need, to jump out on top.
Al, he is so remarkable in that when you watch him and he's standing there at the plate, his action is almost effortless, and when the ball hits the bat, boy, it's something.
Right, he's so regal and elegant, and really no wasted motion. And you talk about a young man that is just a pleasure to talk to. A couple times I've had to say, no, you can walk away from him. You know, he is so respectful of the game. Never forget what Albert has done his first 11 years, but he's trying to make us forget about it.
Let's take a look at this home run swing. It is really poetry in motion.
Slow motion, and you know, everything is so still. The head's still. There was no movement in the body, just the arms swinging, but the arms and lower half were all in sync.
Another look.
Comes through, and
that little front foot action that he has, the slide, is the only movements. It's there, and it's
right.
very, very fragile, you know.
And that's part of the trigger mechanism, getting into the hitting position.
2-2 pitch coming for Holiday. Full count. Matt's been bothered by the back spasms. He lined out in the first.
How about the fact that Matt had a pretty famous babysitter, the White Sox manager?
Yeah, that's right. Here's a walk.
Matt's dad was the head coach when Robin Ventura was playing at Oklahoma State, and Robin Ventura and some of the other players used to take turns babysitting young Matt and his brother
down in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Oh yeah,
yes sir.
Nicknamed Matt the Rat.
Alan Craig. Craig grounded out to end the first.
As he piled up some RBIs, and more RBIs than games played this year.
Good curveball from Peavy.
Over in the only run in last night's ball game, 27 RBIs, and I believe playing in his 24th game. Just have to keep him healthy. Okay, that's part of the problem with the Cardinals, is maybe some of the replacements for all the injured players, but it appears that we might get Schumacher and Carpenter back shortly.
Well, I know that this team has been decimated, as all the fans are aware of, with the physical problems, and Al, it seems to me we've had just a rash of injuries throughout both leagues this year, more than usual, but you have to play through this situation, whether you like it or not. You just got to get yourself out there on the field and say the one thing we want to concentrate on tonight is to win. You can't worry about who's injured. You can't worry about who's not here. You can't worry about what happened last night. That's past history.
That's right. And this game is how you deal with failure. I mean, even the best hitters are going to fail 7 out of 10 times. So it's, as you say, you always have to have a positive frame of mind, And when you have injuries, it becomes opportunities for somebody else.
Since 2003, this fellow, Mr. Peavy, is 6th all time in strikeouts on the active players.
He was a real workhorse when he was with San Diego. And I can see kind of a fiery competitor. And
a little upset right now, isn't he? He's hot. He's got a nice guy behind the plate doing a good job for him. A fellow who is, well, been a little under the radar over the years. He's really an outstanding catcher. I mean, I just marvel at his ability, and you just saw him make a wonderful stop back there. Kaminsky is a really good one.
He's had his own problems with getting under the skin of the opponents.
Yes.
And sometimes his own teammates.
And that's wide. Full count.
Danny was saying for a possible free agent, AJ.
Holiday there at first. And the walk. 2 on and 2 out. A run home. The Redbirds leading on the home run by Beltran. If you're just joining us, came earlier in this inning. Freeze singled back in the first.
That's good to see because he got 2 hits on Sunday, 2 hits yesterday, and starting to heat it up. He's been very, very streaky this year.
I said in the first, I should say to lead off the second. Freeze singled. But David battling, and I think more than anything else, he's beginning to get more comfortable. It's been a real ride for him.
He's handled it very well, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. You have to admire the way he's handled it. This is not an easy game, Al. And he's had so much happen in such a short time.
Jay, you've been around baseball a long time. Did you see anything like the Cardinals 10.5 games back, August 25th, and then run away with it and pick up their 11th World Championship?
Most amazing trip I've ever seen by a team in baseball. And this is inside. The other thing I didn't see coming after the month of April was the way the club has played since then.
Oh, absolutely.
It is a fascinating game. It's a long season. And again, I would stress that man right there is trying to make sure his guys get it in their mind that the one thing they want to do every night or every day or whenever they play is to go out and hit that field and think about only one thing: winning.
And you know, he's done a very good job. When the team was 19-11, everything was the players. Now that it's lost 19 out of 11 to go 500. He's taken, it's my fault, but we all have to look in the mirror, his way of motivating this team.
And the strikeout will end the inning, but the Redbirds have the lead. We're through 3 innings, 1-0 Redbirds.
Thanks, Jay. Always a pleasure.
Good to be with you.
Lesterville, Missouri. You can find out more at visitmo.com. Johnson's has been a favorite of state parks of many visitors for many years. The park is a geological wonder. Many people enjoy its beautiful waters and rock area that you have a chance to climb and take in. It's visitmo.com. Johnson's Shut-ins State Park in Lesterville. We say hello to Jim Hayes tonight. He will join us for the 4th inning, and always good to see you, James. How are you?
Great to be here in the Champions Club. Got the big screen TVs, indoor, outdoor seating, and a all-you-can-eat buffet, I hear tell.
Yeah, I know you, and I know how you like to get after food, so I'm sure you did a little damage here at the Champions Club.
2 or 3 trips.
We're at the top of the 4th, and Jay Randolph brought us some good luck with the home run by Beltran, and Lance Lynn is very sharp, so we're going to let Jay and Al have a chance to mingle with the sold-out crowd here at the Champions Club. We'll take over here for the 4th inning. Top of the lineup as Lance Lynn, first time through, did not allow a base hit, and he struck out 4. This is Diaza, who flied out to left.
Lynn coming off his career high 11 strikeouts. He's averaging, what, 9 strikeouts a game. He's really got his fastball working.
You'd have to say, too, Jim, that now that conversation, especially if he can get a win tonight, would point towards Midsummer Classic and a chance for a second-year player. He is not a rookie. He had enough innings last year to qualify for the Rookie of the Year. Did not win that, obviously, and cannot qualify this year because of the amount of innings. But he would have a chance, you would have to figure, for the All-Star game. Base hit past the diving second baseman, Daniel Descalso. We're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. The UMB Champions Club. Dan, Al, Jim, Jay with you and our Fox Sports Midwest crew.
I'm glad we're giving Al and Senior a chance to mingle, because there's a lot of folks who would like to meet those guys.
And a lot of folks that want their bobblehead signed, too. Remember, Jay had 3,000 bobbleheads given out yesterday at Fairmount Park, and over the years, Al has signed hundreds of his bobbleheads. We saw Diaza make the turn around first base, and Alan Craig, watch out. That's how you get hurt.
Boy, last night we see Beltran's knee hit the wall. We see that kind of, with the injury situation with the Cardinals, you don't want to see any contact whatsoever.
Beckham was called out on strikes his first time up. And Jim, I know you're around this club day in and day out, down on the field, in the clubhouse, and you know, one of the things Mike Matheny talked about is trying to get this team healthy. But with Alan Craig specifically, you know, a lot of people thought that Craig should have scored on a base hit last night. Jose Oquendo held him up. You just have to wonder how healthy Alan Craig's knees are right now. There's a fly ball out to left. Holiday makes the catch, fires it back in for the first out.
Well, you ask Alan Craig, and he says, I'm fine. Obviously, he was dealing with the hamstring thing, but you watch him run the bases, and you can see something's not quite right. So my belief is still maybe not quite 100%. Mike Matheny has said as much. I'll tell you one thing, though. Defensively, when we've seen Alan Craig in the outfield, he does a very nice job in spite of the fact that he may be limited.
Adam Dunn, a late scratch in this lineup. Viciado is taken over in left field. Grounded out to third his first time up. We were talking about Chris Carpenter, Jim, and big news with him today is the fact that he did throw off a mound, and the Cardinals, without question, would love to see a healthy Chris Carpenter sooner than later.
I like Carpenter's demeanor when he was talking to the media. Okay, you know, this is the first step in many. I did throw off the mound like 85%. He said 26 pitches. I know you talked about that. But I think for a lot of Cardinal fans, with what's gone on with the starting rotation and Jaime being down and wondering what the future holds for this ball club, just seeing Carpenter on the mound, I think, can brighten the picture for a lot of fans.
Really would present an interesting point of what to do with the guy on the mound, too. He's been such a valuable piece to the rotation. But we saw at the end of last year how valuable he was to the bullpen. And the bullpen clearly has had their issues this year.
Well, with Lance Lynn, I think the one thing when you talk to the coaching staff from last year and the staff as it's comprised now is the guy's unflappable. You don't see him get too high or too low, and he certainly didn't shrink from the big stage last year out of the bullpen, and you have to believe that helped him from a confidence standpoint as a starter this year. Plus the fact that he realized I can throw hard and go a few innings.
There's a strikeout and number 5 on the night for Lance Lynn. He just rears back and lets loose.
And when we first saw him as a starter last year, he didn't really let loose. He was concerned about pacing and control and command. He realizes he can have all those things and still let loose.
And part of that too was his 2-seamer and 4-seamer. Which would he like to throw, or which would the coaching staff, in particular Dave Duncan, like to see, which is the sinker? Take some of the velocity away. There's Paul Konerko, who's had just a fabulous career. Some believe right now, as we speak, borderline Hall of Famer.
He's got to be right on the cusp. And I tell you what, too, I mean, look at his numbers for this season. He's done it at a high level for a long time. I know he has his detractors, folks thinking maybe he's not quite there.
He's never really had the attention some of the other big stars of the White Sox recent memory have attracted. Frank Thomas would come to mind. But if he stays healthy and plays 3 or 4 more years, speaking about Konerko, those numbers will be very, very close.
Tell you what, this White Sox team has a pretty dangerous lineup. I'm glad we don't see them all too often.
This team has gone 17-6 the last 23 games. Let's see if they want to start the runner on a 2-1 pitch. Not running. Take it for a strike.
Well, I tell you, it was good to see Beltran go deep, just for the fact that through 4 games of the homestand, Cardinals had scored a total of 6 runs. Kind of unthinkable for this lineup, which, as it's comprised now, pretty good. I mean, they're missing some parts, but that's a lineup that Mike Matheny says should be able to score runs.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Taken by Craig. Konerko grounds out. And the White Sox strand a runner. St. Louis on top. Midway through 4. MyKiaSt.Louis.com. And right now at Jack in the Box, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. Beautiful night here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Yadier Molina leads things off. Cardinals a 1-0 lead thanks to Carlos Beltran. Beltran with home run number 19, RBI number 47. How do you think, Jim, that Mike Matheny is holding up? Getting tested now the last couple of weeks with the injuries and with more losses than wins.
Can't be easy, Dan. I mean, not with everything they're going through. And you know how badly Mike wants to win. But he's been through ups and downs as a player before. And he's been one of the guys that's designated to go out and talk to the media after a tough loss. So he knows the kind of things that are going to come his way. I think he's more than prepared for this.
So you're telling me it's been a little easier, especially on the road, when you go into those tight offices, to deal with Mike Matheny and Tony La Russa after a tough loss.
Dan, you're trying to get me in trouble.
I am. Yadi skies one into right center field. Diaza makes the catch. So the last 31 games, Cardinals, it's been a struggle. 11-20 after the fantastic start, 20-11 start, and a lot of that due to what the starters were able to do with the 2.82 ERA.
And to answer your question, it is a lot easier, Dan, after a Cardinal loss to talk to Mike Matheny in spite of the numbers, which are trending downward for the Cardinals right now. You know, the bullpen issues, you really trace back where it started. And once the starting rotation stopped going as deep as they were early and the bullpen got taxed more, I think then we saw the bullpen ERA start to rise. And, you know, it's been a situation that needs correcting.
Here's Descalso, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jake Peavy has picked up the pace. Last inning, he walked a couple, gave up the home run to Beltran. And Daniel hits a fly ball into right. Second baseman, Gordon Beckham, shallow right field. Makes the catch for out number 2. Fans can chat live throughout the season in the Jack in the Box Ask the Expert chats on FoxSportsMidwest.com. Tonight's chat is hosted by Andrew Asselford,
who does a great job for the website. Really a talented writer, nice guy too.
FoxSportsMidwest.com. Here's Shane Robinson. Cardinals are hoping that Schumacher can return possibly by Sunday. And also you've got Matt Carpenter. The Cardinals are looking at getting him back pretty soon too.
He was hoping maybe today or tomorrow he'd be sent out on a rehab assignment. I asked him how's the oblique and he said tremendous, which is a good thing. And Skip, talking to Mike Matheny, they wanted Skip maybe to wait a little bit. They couldn't stop him. He said, I'm ready, let's go. So he left.
Little check swing, slowly hit towards second. Beckham makes the play. Jim, always nice to visit with you, and we'll see you on the postgame.
I'm going to go eat.
Sounds good. Shocking. We're in St. Louis. UNB Champions Club. It's 1-0 Cardinals as we head to the 5th. Matt Kemp, the vote leader. Center field for the National League, the Dodgers All-Star. 1-0 as Carlos Beltran will be a part of the All-Star game. And you have a chance to vote until June 25th online 25 times. Interleague play. We'll have an interleague game every night of the season next year, as Houston will move to the American League. Lance Lynn has been sharp early on. He struck out 5 as we move to the 5th. Rios, Przinsky, and Ramirez. Rios grounded out to short first time up. And once again, it's been the American League in interleague play that has performed quite well against the National League.
The White Sox are very good.
31-12, best record since 2010 in interleague play. You saw the players that were getting voted in, but the news concerning the Cardinals with the All-Star game. Tony La Russa, as we all know, will manage the National League team. But the gang is getting back together, so to speak. His coaches from a year ago, some of those that are still here, but he's also added Ron Renicky and Terry Collins. Renicky of Milwaukee, Collins of the New York Mets. But his coaching staff, Bettini, Duncan, McKay, all those guys will all be at the All-Star game.
And they should be. Kendo be a big part of that. Be a big reunion for them.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Popped up to the right side. Craig is over and out of room.
And Dan, now you think about it, with Dave McKay with Chicago and Bettini with Houston, it kind of gives more of a flair that more cities will feel like they're represented. There will be one representative from every team. But now with a couple more coaches, I would assume they'd be wearing their current uniforms.
Oh, sure. The 2-2. Out to left, and that ball will get down. Robinson can't get to it. It's off the wall. Rios is thinking 3. They missed the cut, and he's in with a leadoff triple. Talk about it all the time, Al, the little things. Not to say if they hit the cut that they'd get him at third, but you may have had a play.
You have a chance. But when Robinson, he first misses it, but then recovers, and it comes up here, but he misses. You have 2 cutoff men. So, you know, you'd like to think that if you miss the first one, you hit the second one. But when you overthrow both of them, or it's so wide that, you know, your second cutoff man has to go flag it down, and then he has no chance for a play or a throw at third.
Corners are in for Przinsky. AJ with his 11th home run last night.
Have to be careful as a pitcher when you have a leadoff triple, that in an effort to keep that man from scoring, in this case tying the game, that you don't invite a big inning.
One thing you have to admire about the White Sox is what they've done with runners in scoring position as a team recently. And Przinsky, how about his numbers? 426 with that runner on third. Less than 2 outs. 9 out of 13 times has come in. The 1-1 pitch. Good pitch. A strike. AJ didn't like it.
And they're over 380 as a team, and Przinsky is the best. That 400 plus. And they have won 8 straight road games. They have the best road record in the major leagues.
Here's a 1-2. Just trying to put the ball in play or protect. Shoots one over the dugout of the White Sox.
Right, just that ability to kind of just fight it off, stay alive for maybe a mistake pitch.
2-2. Lance Lynn very sharp so far tonight. The 5 strikeouts. He's allowed just 2 base hits. Another 2-2 pitch. Give Brzezinski credit here protecting the plate. Those 2 strikes.
Especially a guy that hit the ball for power. You know, to just go down there and be a contact hitter. See him really go down, and it was a pitcher's pitch, borderline, but you know, not a pitch that you could drive. So he just kind of made short contact and just fouled it off.
The 2-2 tied him up. A strikeout for Lynn.
Great pitch. Got in on him. Lance Lynn just fires his fastball, but it got real in on him. Look at that swing right there. Might have been looking for something away and just tied him up, where he pulls the hands in, tries to make a swing, but it's very awkward.
And Lexi Ramirez struck out back in the 3rd. Strike 1.
Arizona's a .322 average with 23 RBIs with runners in scoring position.
On the outside corner for strike 2.
Set up away, just fires and hits his spot. That ball is being consistently called. A little wider strike zone, and that's fine. Players can adjust to it if it's consistent.
.02 pitch, and he strikes him out. 7 on the night. Back-to-back Ks. And now Lance Lynn 1 out away from getting out of this jam.
0-2, and then a fastball up and away, but produce a pop-up or a swing and miss. He got his 7th strikeout on him.
Here's Hudson. Triple last night. It scored 2. Mike Matheny would love to see another strikeout here. Why not number 8?
A lot of times they're going to intentionally pass him and bring up Peavy. Can't do it every time, but this one does make a lot of sense.
So the intentional pass of the 8th place hitter to bring in Jake Peavy. Put runners at the corners with 2 down here in the top of the 5th. June 30th. Pirates will be here. Cardinals.com/Mizzou Day. Mizzou's spirit teams will be here. The pregame pep rally. All fans invited to take advantage of special ticket prices. Mizzou Day. Cardinals.com/Mizzou Day for more information. So the intentional walk to Hudson. Now Peavy with runners at 1st and 3rd.
He used to be a pretty good hitter. It's not bad right there. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. 171.
1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes.
Pitcher hitting, you just kind of fall behind the count and make them not much more dangerous. Has 2 career home runs, and Molina out to talk to Lim. After Jake Peavy, you sit there and you go, okay. Molina goes out, probably say, hey, don't be too fine, just rear back, just give me a nice good motion and throw the ball for strike. And he was thinking the same thing. I'm not going to be too fine. I'll look for the ball right here, and if it's there, I'll pull the trigger.
As crazy as this question may be, why does that happen with a pitcher up? And you know, in many ways, this is the game right here for Lance Lynn.
Well, sometimes you just, you know, you get yourself in a position you almost you don't pay as much respect. And you kind of take it for granted that I'm going to be able to blow it by.
You really saw him bear down on a great pitch to strike out Brzezinski.
That was a terrific pitch, and that could have been the ball game right there.
Here's a 2-1. Now 2-2. So a strike away from striking out the side for the 2nd time tonight.
Times when you get in this position, leadoff triple and a couple strikeouts, and a lot of times you don't know how you're going to get out of it, but you know you will get out of it.
Strikeout number 8. Left fielder with nearly 4 million votes. Curtis Granderson and Nelson Cruz also in that outfield. Jeter at short, no surprise there. Prince Fielder, first year in the American League, and he's at 1.4.
Explain this one to me. Watch Orlando Hudson talking to somebody. Hopefully it's third base coach. But look at how he puts his arm around Alan Craig, and then Alan kind of chases away.
Having a little fun, I think.
You know, Orlando is a real good person, and a very entertaining and congenial, but maybe a little more than what Alan Craig wanted.
He was saying before the game that this is the right fit for him, Chicago, and he's mixed in right off the bat when he was traded from San Diego, or rather picked up by the White Sox after being released by San Diego.
He was saying that San Diego's not going anyplace, and it'll be quite a few years before they start winning again. He said, I'm at the right place. I said, well, how do you like third? And he goes, well, I'm trying to get used to it.
A reason that Hudson arrived here was because Jake Peavy was his teammate in San Diego and said, "You'll be fine." Last time we saw him, he was wearing that Padres uniform, and Bloss and Keel, they went deep.
Bloss went twice. 4 home runs.
There's Joe Mather. Went 7 innings, but gave up the 4 home runs.
4 home runs, but only 4 runs, 4 single shots.
Now back to Furcal in the top of the lineup. We're at the UMB Champions Club.
Saw Bob Gibson win a game, giving up 4 home runs. It was 4-5 or 5-4. You know.
You walk inside the Champions Club, you see the signage for UMB and the sponsorship that they have picked up. Long-term deal with the Cardinals and the World Series trophies that are inside the Champions Club. And that's the response we've gotten from fans, is that they love the opportunity to see those trophies up close. 67, 82, 06, and 11.
And 67 was the very first trophy awarded to a ball club.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
And McNeil, who retired from the zoo, he was in the herpetarium.
Just say the snake department.
Snake department.
Reptiles. Diving catch. Nice play from left field all the way in. Viciano makes the catch, and there's 2 away.
Call him the tank, but he's really put together as he comes in charging hard in this ball. And makes the catch, holds on. Cuban defector. But Jerry McNeil has probably the world's largest collection of photographs of all the different World Series gifts, what they had. You know, one time there were pins, belt buckles. They didn't start doing rings until several years later. And then he'll take, you know, a lot of people out from Stan the Man Inc. have the Stan Musial, one of his World Series rings that Jerry photographs, and it's really a nice piece for your collection.
There's a base hit out to left center field. No surprise off the bat of Beltran, who was homer tonight. And now 3 for 3. Infield hit, home run, and a solid base hit into left center. Things get serious tonight. The Cardinals score 6. Any size drink is just 50 cents all day tomorrow at your nearest On the Run at Mobile. This year, 6 is a serious number. Fouled back off the bat of Matt Holliday. Must have been fun for you to sit in with Jennings.
Oh yeah, Jay's known Jay a long time, great friend. He could spin some tales.
I hope you were nice to him when you were playing.
I was.
Okay.
I have great respect for him.
Birthday party here at the UMB Champions Club. I see a lot of that as well. Birthday parties, they even held weddings here. Get-togethers, family reunions, whatever the case may be. Happy birthday.
TV.
1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Holliday. Now that you're a proud card-carrying member of the media, I'm sure you're very, very nice to the one and only Jay Randolph.
I forgot I'm not a member of
the
Al. Media. You no.
2-1 pitch. 2-2. grandson is wearing number 39 just to my left. Young Westland. Starting him early, Al?
Oh, yeah.
Is he lefty or righty?
Right-handed, unfortunately.
2-2. Got him. Strikeout for Peavy. Cardinals strand a runner. Beltran's home run, a solo shot, the difference so far tonight. Player appearances all season long on the Friday nights out in the Ford Plaza. Whitey Herzog. White Rat will be there. Cardinals.com/promotions.
Appropriate for Whitey to be there with the Royals in town.
You bet.
Manage both ball clubs.
Still just thrilled for Whitey to get in the Hall of Fame.
Outstanding.
Should have been there a long time ago. We both agree, right?
Sure.
All the years as a scout. So many years, decades.
Well,
the game of professional baseball.
He's done everything in the game, from a player to farm director, general manager, field manager.
Alejandro Diaza, 1 for 2 with a single back in the 4th inning. We're in the top of the 6th, and Lance Lynn has been outstanding here tonight. There's a line drive into right, and did he catch it? Yes, he did. What a play by Beltran in right field.
Again, you touched on a little bit. How about the hard banging into the wall last night on the Orlando Hudson drive out there? He's 3 for 3 tonight. Now he makes a sensational 6-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove Award winner, and there's a classic great catch right there, having a tremendous all-around game.
Gordon Beckham 0 for 2, looks at a strike. Ball gets by Beltran. Watch out. Diaz is off to the races. Here's the 0-1 pitch.
Another leadoff triple at least.
Yes.
And you and I both thought when he banged in the wall last night, first kind of slumped down on the warning track, but didn't have needed medical attention and stayed in that game, and now playing one of his best all-around games of the year.
Here's the 0-2. Line foul and out of play. Schedule will not get any easier in the upcoming road trip, with the Cardinals dealing with Detroit, Kansas City, and then back in the National League with Miami. And yes, that's a strikeout for Lance Lynn, number 9 on the night.
Lance Lynn just painting the corners all night long. They've had a little generous on that outside part, so take advantage of it, and Lance has.
Ellie Poling is watching the game tonight and enjoying Cardinals baseball, enjoying baseball with her daddy, and celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to Ellie.
That's 20 strikeouts for Lynn in his last 2 starts.
What do you see with him, Al, that makes him, you know, a guy that a couple of years ago you wondered, would he get here, and now you're saying, man, this guy is anchoring a rotation?
And you probably knew he was going to get here. You just didn't know if it would be when he was 24 years of age. But turned 25 on May 11th, and all season long you just had great confidence in him. He's just a big burly guy. Nothing phases him. He attacks the strike zone. Has good enough breaking ball, but his demeanor on the mound, just you know, let's go play hard, old-fashioned hardball. Good enough breaking ball, change up just to keep people off that fastball, and his fastball is, you know, is one of the better ones when you think about 94 mile an hour from the starter.
View right there, the front row of the seats, you get the idea of the pace of the game, meaning the how fast it truly is. I mean, just a split second from Lynn to the catcher's mitt, that hitter to make a split second decision whether or not to swing the bat.
Just a blur going through there.
2-2.
95. But Lance, you know, usually keeps his walks down, so he's really efficient. You know, attacks the strike zone.
3-2 pitch.
He has enough stuff that he can pitch up after pitching down, change that eye angle. That, you know, is a big key to pitching. But he has pretty good fastball command, much better than most. Like tonight, with that wide strike zone, he's able to exploit it.
And it's another strikeout, double digits tonight for Lance Lynn. That is number 10. Bottom of the 6th, rolls in when we come back. Floyd and Jake Westbrook both are 4-6, and will come your way tomorrow at 6:30 here on your home of the Cardinals, Fox Sports Midwest. We're broadcasting tonight down the left field line, arguably the best place, the ballpark, UMB Champions Club. Here at the Champions Club, over 40 flat screens, 2.5 hour all-you-can-eat buffet, carving stations, 2 full-service bars, indoor-outdoor seating, the suite level here at the ballpark.
Andre and his staff do a great job here. It's where we like to watch a ball game from when we can. Dante, that's right, Dante. Maybe he was thinking about changing his name.
Alan Craig with a fly ball out to right, and one pitch, one away. Start the bottom of the 6th. Again, a reminder, the All-Star game on Fox, and that's a look from the Champions Club that you see right there. The outdoor seating. 10th of July, only on Fox. David Freese with one out. I'm sure you saw this, Al, but Andre Ethier
signed a contract, right? 5-year, 85.
Woo. $85 million for Andre Ethier.
Now I remember his first year. I always liked him. First year when he came up with the Dodgers, I thought he was one of the better hitters in the league.
Ownership group that's led now by Magic Johnson. Oh, what a play! It's short. Wow. Ramirez, full extension, takes a hit away from David Freese.
This looked like a bullet. What's it look like from this angle? Still look like a great play. Young shortstop. Ramirez got up. Another Cuban defector.
Inside to Yadier Molina. Cubs have made some news. They've fired Rudy Jaramillo, the longtime hitting coach for the Texas Rangers and the highest paid hitting coach in all of baseball. He's fired, and a lot of people surprised to see that.
Oh, absolutely. And I've had a chance several times to talk with Rudy, and very impressed with him. And as you say, you don't become the highest paid hitting coach without having a pedigree behind it, and yet you have to blame somebody.
2 very big months coming up in baseball when you think about trade deadline and trying to reshape your team and your organization for next year and years to come. And they've got Matt Garza, Dempster, Soriano, even LaHair's name has been mentioned as potential trade bait out there. They are just gutting the Cubs right now. That's a look at Matt watching here at the UMB Champions Club. Hello, Matt. Not much movement from Matt. Yanni with a fly ball, center field, and the catch is made by Diaza. Sends us to the 7th. St. Louis on top. Beltran's home run the difference so far. Real key part of this game was moments ago back in the 5th. Leadoff triple, and then after that, he was outstanding.
Well, there are strikeouts, and there are times when they're meaningful. And in the 5th, his 3 strikeouts were a leadoff triple, a pair of strikeouts, then an intentional pass to Hudson, the 8th place hitter, bring up the pitcher spot, and his 8th strikeout. Then he got 2 more in the 6th inning. He had 11 strikeouts in his last start, so 10+ strikeouts in consecutive starts. Been a while. Carpenter, 2010, did that. He set a career high with 11 in his last start and win against Houston. And you kind of have a feeling that he's going to surpass that tonight.
A slider in there to Konerko. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
His 6th pitch of the night. That's the one thing about strikeouts. It does pile up your pitch count.
Here's a weak ground ball. Freeze charging and makes the play. This Saturday, it's the Nestle Purina Pet Bowl, available to 25,000 pet lovers ages 16 and older. Get yours by purchasing tickets at Cardinals.com. Al, we talked about it last night. Konerko still clearly one of the top hitters in baseball, but he is, in his career, just been an unbelievable fastball hitter. So Lance Lynn, a lot of off-speed pitches here tonight.
And you can still throw fastballs to him, but you throw them at the right time, the right location. If you can keep him off balance and then sneak one by him. People talk about a first ball fastball hitter. The best pitch to throw him is a fastball, but it's off the plate.
Slider again. Alex Rios tripled back in the 5th, then left stranded, as you saw, following the strikeouts 6, 7, and 8 at that time. It's now up to 10. You see Lynn do that a lot, don't we? Al, spin off the mound.
Right. And when you do that, you're probably not going to throw a strike. But it's just sort of by habit after doing it. See, it takes a little more time to get himself under control. And there he a little bit more towards the plate. And then after he releases it, he kind of spins and pivots on one foot.
It's the Shanahan family here at the ballpark. The 2-2. Strikeout number 11. Let's turn to our trivia question tonight. Brought to you by AT, who was the last Cardinals pitcher to reach 10 wins on June 13th. Darryl Kyle back in 2000.
I think next week is the 10-year anniversary of the death of Jack Buck and Darryl Kyle. Terrible week.
It's a wonderful piece done in the latest edition of Cardinals Magazine on those 5 days in June 10 years ago. Kyle and the passing of Mr. Buck. Just a great piece in Cardinals Magazine. Brzezinski struck out back in the 5th. You saw him yelling going back to the dugout after the strikeout. He didn't like the second strike on him, and then he fouled 3 or 4 pitches off. I'm not sure if he was yelling about the strike zone or upset that he struck out. Hits it to short. How about we stretch? Lance Lynn effective here tonight. 1-0 St. Louis. Nation's largest 4G network, AT&T, rethink possible. Buy O'Charlie's 2 for $20, 1 appetizer, 2 entrees, just $20 only at O'Charlie's. And buy Ford. Well, tonight we are broadcasting from the UMB Champions Club, and we can't thank UMB enough for everything that they've done with the Cardinals in a long-term partnership. Not just a place to watch baseball, but look at that, the 2 full-scale bars, the 2.5-hour buffet. We've heard about weddings out here and off-season events that take place at the UMB Champions Club. You walk in, you see the big sign for UMB. No mistaking, they're a great part of what we do up here with the Champions Club. The trophies up here, you've got the 4 different trophies: 67, 82, 2006, 2011.
Now, part of this is my own clarification. We keep on saying 4 trophies. We have 11 World Championships, but have they changed the model? What is it?
My understanding is they have. This is near the line, and you'll see on the trophies the opponent and the flags, the pennants,
right,
of where the teams finished in both the American and National Leagues. And after 67, the trophies got a little bit bigger, taller. So you see that part of it too. But if you look very closely, it's kind of like the World Series ring. If you look closely enough, you'll pick up different aspects for the UMB Champions Club and those trophies.
Some of them have the order of finish and the name on the flags. Sometimes the flags are not don't have the teams on them, I believe. That's one of the little subtleties. Or you'd see the 2 teams that matched in the World Series, and then the corresponding order of finish. I know where the Cubs finished.
It's low.
Yeah, real low.
Low. Also, I believe that's, yeah, right there, 1982. If you see very, very closely, you'll.
Then it shows the 2 symbols of the 2 teams that competed in the World Championship.
So you've got the logo of the Brewers there, Cardinals logo.
And there's 4 different models of the trophies then.
Correct. A swing and a miss by Shane Robinson. But that's what we have found, is that the people that come to the UMB Champions Club have a chance to see those trophies for the first time. And that's one of the neat aspects of what's happened from winning the World Series, is the fact that the team can show off the trophy. They take it all over the place, corporate events, and the fans have a chance to see it.
Well, Dan, here we go. Lance Lynn hitting for himself, which we assume, but Mike Matheny is going to have one of those tough decisions to make. Lance is, probably about 105, 106 pitches, pitching a brilliant game, but how far do you go with him? As crossed up right there. AJ was looking for a breaking ball, looked like got a fastball, and that's what it looks like when you pitcher throws one pitch and the catcher's looking for something else.
How many times though have we seen AJ Pierzynski out? And clearly it looked like he was crossed up there, but in some of these, we take for granted that Molina is very soft in how he receives the baseball, and Pierzynski a lot of times is stabbing at it.
He's mad at the umpire. Got to be mad at somebody. But I mean, Mike Matheny's going to have a decision to make. Lance Lynn is through 7 innings. He's got the 11 strikeouts. It's over 100. Look at. I put pink fingernails on my fingers. What else do you want me to do?
And held it up against my black chest protector. Can't miss it. The UMB Champions Club. Our Bomberito Sports Update, Jim Hayes. All right, Jim, thanks. This is Jimmy and Shannon in St. Anne. What kind of snacks are you having? Well, you're up at the Champions Club.
Unfortunately, none.
Well, we
had a great buffet before.
Yeah, and we have the one and only Tim Garcia, and he eats all the food.
Yes, constantly eating. But we had a delicious buffet before the game, and it was quite filling. And I even found for your exotic taste buds.
I had turkey, salad. There's fruit back there. Cookies, brownies. You name it, they got it. The UMB Champions Club.
Boggs and Zepchinski working in the bullpen behind Lance Lynn.
Garcia ate half of the buffet, and now that's a look at his cookie plate. Very nice of him to give that to the paying customers. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Ramirez. But you bring up the great point, Al, is how deep do you go with Lance Lynn? You've had your struggles with the bullpen. Does Mike Matheny throw all that out the window and say, look, I'm not worried about pitch counts, I'm going with Lance Lynn?
Well, it tells you right there, you see two guys that had trouble in the 8th inning last night, but you got to show confidence in them. You're not afraid to go back to them. And Lance has a new career high in strikeouts, 12 now.
You know, many times with Tony La Russa, last 16 years, we saw that if you were called up, you were right into the game. And if you struggled the night before out of the bullpen, many times he went right back with you. And the idea behind that, according to Tony, was, look, these are men, not machines, and they will remember their last outing. You've got Dunn on deck, and Zepchinski, as Al pointed out, warming up. And Dunn hit a home run last night, 430 feet off of Mark Zepchinski.
Well, I think the best thing is for Lance Lynn to retire Hudson, and then you let him stay in this game. And if he faces Dunn, he faces Dunn. Dunn had I mean, he's got 21 home runs. That's second most in the major leagues, but he also, the likelihood is he's going to strike out. So the real key is to get this batter out.
Here's a 1-1. Base hit. So now it's decision time for Mike Matheny. Dunn coming to the plate with his 21 home runs.
Here comes Mike Matheny. He's had 112 pitches, and though he's big and strong, they're more concerned about that, and he looked like he just called to the bullpen.
He'll go to the lefty, Zepchinski. And we'll listen to the crowd reaction as we head to break for Lance Lynn. Career high tonight. Lance with 12 strikeouts. the home run to Adam Dunn. Game on the line tonight. And what do we have? Zepchinski and Dunn. And this is exactly the situation that Mike Matheny talked about after the game last night. Fell behind, had to be around the plate. Here around the plate, this guy connects. More times than not, it seems like it's leaving the park.
And it's been Zepchinski's slider that has been so flat that he's really been getting beat on it. Lefties are hitting .333 against him, and he hasn't had much more success against right-handers. 5.48 ERA. See the 30 appearances. That's quite a few, and inherited runner's done a good job. He's stranded 12 of 14, but Lance Lynn can only do is root on his teammate, and Zepchinski can only thank his manager for putting him back in so quickly. But to face the guy that beat you or hurt you last night is not the easiest thing either.
What have you seen now with Zepchinski? Because just looking at the numbers, he's not the same guy that we saw at the end of last year.
Not at all. Lefties last year were like 163, had a career high in strikeouts, but like I said, and what Matheny was saying is that he's getting into hitters count. They're seeing a lot, but then when he goes to his go-to pitch, the slider, it's very flat. So let's see, start him off with the fastball, and there gets a strike, but it wasn't appeared that looked like they wanted it inside. I like it better away anyway to a power hitter, unless you go way inside. It's 1 for 3 against Scrabble, and that one home run was last night. The odds are still going to be with the pitcher.
Runner at first is Hudson. Here's the 0-1. Instead, another check.
Sometimes a good hitter like Dunn, or a power hitter, you always think that, okay, keep on throwing to first. You're trying to avoid pitching to me. That sometimes can be interpreted as a sign of weakness. A lot of times that's called by the bench. Fastball inside, make sure you get it inside.
0-1 on its way. A little bit low.
92 miles an hour. That's fine.
I think the thing that you worry about is the self-doubt maybe at this point for Zepchinski. He needs to get on a roll.
Well, it happens, and you know he did have 3 good outings in a row before last night, so you thought he was going to be a good side. Fastball in.
Ground ball and a diving stop. They get the lead man on to first. Yes, they get the double play. Wow.
What a job by Descalzo.
4-6-3 on the DP. starting that 4-6-3 double play.
Look where the shortstop for Call is, right behind the bag. Here you see Descalso in the hole, hits it right to normal second base, so a very difficult play. Under the situation right there, Descalso saves the day. Kind of dives, stops his ball, gets a perfect feed to Fakal. Fakal's got the runner right on top of him, but he has that superior arm strength. Jumped up, threw the ball almost underhand, and got it over to first base ahead of Dunn. And boy, was Zepchinski relieved, and every one of his teammates, and especially Lynn, were out there to congratulate him. That's what you need when you're struggling. You need everybody to pull for you, and need a little bit of luck.
Want to be here in person next time your Cardinals take the field? Just head to StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals. Yeah, the thing that you think about with that play is you get a look at our Chevy call to the pen, and it's Jones, the right-hander for the White Sox. But Fakal is on the second base side, and instead of being able to take his momentum towards first base or towards the right field side, you know, the footwork on that play is not easy, and one that he's not accustomed to, and actually went the other way. But as you mentioned, the arm strength made up for that.
Talking about arm strength is Nate Jones. He's got a good arm. How about Fakal? You know, you worried a little bit, hit a couple home runs on the road trip, and then you worry about getting underneath balls. Trying, you know, not that you're trying to hit home runs, but instead of hitting down, getting line drives, you get underneath and you keep on popping up balls. 0 for 3 right now, 0 for his last 18.
152 in the month of June. And the on-base percentage for the leadoff man, 184.
Look at the difference in runs. He really is the table setter.
By the way, the last Cardinals pitcher with at least 11 strikeouts in back-to-back starts, Alan Bennis, did it back in 1997. And Lance Lynn absolutely dominant here tonight. Gutsy call to go with the lefty Zepchinski after what took place last night, the way he's been throwing as of late. Move pays off with a double play, and let's hope that really jump-starts Mark Zepchinski, because Mike Matheny knows he's got to have him. He's a vital guy in that bullpen.
Absolutely, and the only way you're going to get him straightened out is to put him in key spots. Even, you know, when they put you in a non-pressurized spot, you know you're in that, and it doesn't mean anything, because it doesn't mean anything until you can get somebody out when the game's on the line. And Mike gave him that opportunity, and he came through. Came through with a lot of help from Scalzo and his teammates. Gap in right center. Shade him a little bit to the opposite field. Straight away in the infield. Rod Carew, 6-7-time batting champion in the American League, was an excellent bunter. And he always felt like he would never go into a prolonged slump because he could always bunt for base hits. Went right back to the basics of seeing, you know, very simple form of hitting.
Tough play, barehanded. Wow. We have seen some defense here tonight.
That's the defense that they talk about from Beckham, and you were so happy just to see slap down on the ball, and you think it's going to be a base hit, but it took a terrific play by the young second baseman to deny him the hit. Only chance he had, if he would have taken the time to catch that in the glove, backhand some way, there's no way he could have taken the ball out and thrown out for call.
So the play by Ramirez, play by Beltran earlier tonight. The double play started by Descalso. Carlos is 3 for 3. Average just under 300 now at 299.
Hudson had a nice play on Robinson back in the second.
Nissan drive of the game, Carlos Beltran. Beltran with home run number 19, and he's driven in 47. On 2-0, he skies one towards center. 2 outs. Kind of a redemption game maybe of sorts. Zipchinski tonight. Possibility of Mott getting a save after what happened on Sunday.
Well, Mott is warming up, and you would suspect he will be in this game. What will the score be? But all of a sudden, Zipchinski just feels like the world's been off his shoulders. That's all you can ask. One good game, one little lucky break here and there, and then you kind of build on it in a very positive way.
Two. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. The 2-2, check swing, and he went. Strikeout of Holiday. And here we go. It's a 1-run lead for St. Louis. The hard-throwing right-hander coming in when we come back. That's Jason Mott. Beer and easy drinking, Busch Light. And by Taco Bell, Live Muss. I want to thank all the men and women behind the scenes that make this possible. Moving all the equipment, all the shots that you see of the UMB Champions Club tonight. Not an easy thing to do. And we appreciate everything they've done.
And it'll be even more appreciation if Jason Mott comes in here and does his thing. 11 for 14 in save opportunities. Has given up the 4 home runs, and last time he pitched, he has to be able to put that out of his memory. Think about the game-winning home run he surrendered.
Top of the lineup here for the White Sox. First pitch is strike.
White Sox, the best road team in baseball. They currently have an 8-game winning streak on the road. Not bad for a team that's supposed to finish 5th in their division. They're a much better ball club than that. Robin always was a leader when he was a player. Jay Randolph talking about that. He saw him even as a collegiate. And always even-tempered. Except for one time he charged the mound against an old veteran pitcher.
I think he was 26 at the time, talking about Ventura, and Nolan Ryan was
46.
Yeah, 44, 45, 46, whatever the case was.
And he got a lesson.
Yes, he did. 2 balls and 1 strike. One of the more famous fights in baseball history.
Yeah. Man, there'll be a point that when Luke will be a teenager and you'll use that as a reference point. Now, young man, let me tell you a story about it. Young whippersnapper that thought he could take him, not his dad, but a senior citizen in baseball, and
it could be like this.
Could be like this.
The 2-2, a little bit upstairs, full count. Ground ball, and Papal cannot come up with it. They had him positioned perfectly. Big hole between short and third, and Rafael could not come up with it. Post-game show is coming up. Missouri Lottery Cardinals live with Cal Eldred and Jim Hayes.
Hard hit ball. Jason Mott is, in your mind, in your heart, you're seeing the first out. Now, Robinson, maybe equipment malfunction or something. Chris Conroy, the assistant trainer, out to help him out. Band-aid.
Unfortunately, now you have to sit there and wait. Jason Mott standing on the mound. Boy, this is the last time to do that.
Not the most opportune time, but Jason does have the opportunity to throw with Molina to keep sharp.
Boy, that's odd, isn't it?
They scored that as a base hit, and it was hit hard and took a little funny hop, but there again, Dan, there's one of those plays that have to be made. 3-2 pitch comes off the mound there, and Ralphie going to his left, getting ready for it, and then it came on his glove arm, went over the glove.
Charlie Renkin, Andrew Luft, big Cardinal fans watching tonight, and now Robinson pops out. I wonder if he had to go to the restroom.
Now they're going to change him with Chambers. Or Chambers coming into left field. So in a better defensive field in the outfield. Always a bet risky in a one-run game. In this case, 1-0. Oh, they did make the last out.
Well, nature calls, Al, and maybe that was the case there as they checked on him, and he seems to be all right. So Robinson is out in center, and it is Chambers in left. Holiday is out following the first man that reached against Mott, and now it's Beckham. Wonder if he would bunt here. Don't see it a lot in the American League, but national style of baseball and interleague play at the National League home ballpark. Beckham squaring. Bunt is down. They get the out at first. Tying run in scoring position.
You have somebody that throws as hard as Mott. It's not easy to get a bunt down, and Beckham did a nice job there. Now the tying run in scoring position, but Mott is a strikeout pitcher.
Lance Lynn, our player of the game tonight, brought to you by Budweiser. 7 1/3. 12 strikeouts, 112 pitches for Lance Lynn, our Budweiser player of the game. Dayan Viciedo,
named the Tank, and he is really put together, and they say he has power to all fields. Got a hanging slider the other day and hit one over what they said would be over the Cardinal bullpen.
Up and in. 97 from Mott.
Well, one of the things, had a great month of May, but lately he's been struggling offensively, and they've been pounding him in, just tying up. About 3 for his last 34.
The 0-1 pitch. Same spot. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Remember the last time had a 1-0 game. It was in Chicago.
Was that the Reyes game?
That was the Reyes game.
Anthony Reyes and Jim Thome hit a home run.
It was, I want to say it was one hit. A one-hitter and a one-hitter, and it just happened to be a Jim Thome home run that did in Reyes and the Cardinals. They just shellacked the Cardinals that series.
Here's a ground ball. Oh, for Kyle. Saves a run.
Couldn't get it out of his glove, but you're absolutely right. He saved the run by keeping it on the infield. And you see, dives for the ball. Couldn't get it out of his gloves, so had no play at first. Tried to look to see the lead runner. This is Danks. We saw him pinch run late in last night's game and then play left field, but let's hope he doesn't take the field. Let's hope he's part of a double play ball.
How much of this strategy right here, Al, is the fact that you've got Konerko up, who can absolutely destroy a fastball. They're saying, look, don't give him anything to hit. If you walk him, you walk him. We'll deal with the bases loaded, but don't let him beat you.
Well, that's a good point. But, you know, a lot of times, you know, but if he hits the ball on the ground, you know, you've got a great chance that he could hit into a double play. If your best pitch is a fastball, you have to believe, if you're a closer like Mott, you have to believe that you can throw your fastball by anybody. And remember, too, if you go up there trying to throw a lot of breaking balls, you got a good chance either to hang one or throw one away.
They have got him out tonight with breaking balls. Is Mott's good enough to do that here? This guy can turn on any fastball.
Fastball. But what you want to do like that, take the sting out of it. Inside. But first pitch, is that what you're going to stay with that in this count?
Runners at first and third. The 1-0 pitch.
Took a little slider there. Now Yachty knows how this umpire's strike zone has been wide all night. Knows that better than Mott. So we'll see if Yachty uses that in this at bat. But you know, if you go out there, you want to be out away, and it looks like coming back inside. The good pitch is inside. You know, you aren't going to get beat. You know, they're balls, but you know, you're not leaving in the middle of the plate where you can pull it and hit it to the shortest part of the field.
if you go to 3-1. Would he even see a pitch to hit at 3-1?
Well, like you said, you could, set up a force play at any base. So that is a good part of the strategy right here.
The 2-1 pitch inside. We'll find out.
One of the problems for young players too is going out and talking some of that strategy. Sometimes you don't get to that count or that opportunity there because you're not putting 100% behind one of the pitches and you make a mistake. Here's the 3-1 count. Breaking ball.
Ground ball. Can they get two? Out at second. Double play. The Cardinals win it 1-0. They end it with a double play.
How important it will be. We look back at this game. We talk about a 1-0 win with Zepchinski and Mott coming in and doing their job after a little bit of struggles. It could be a turning point.
You bet. One of the game's best hitters and a chance to do damage. Grounds into a game-ending double play, and Jason Mott gets the high fives.
And also David Freese, who did not turn a double play yesterday, gets the job done today, and it's a victory.
Boy, is that big.
You're seeing Mott's emotion. Molina came out. Everyone kind of feeling so much more relieved.
Don't go away, Missouri.